Will you, will you ask me why I love her? Well, give me time and I'll explain. Have you seen a Kansas sunset or a Arizona rain? All of you drifting on a bayou, down Louisiana way. Watch the cold fog drifting over San Francisco Bay. Have you heard of Bob White calling in the Carolina Pines? Or heard the bellow of a diesel in the Appalachian mines? Does the sound of the Niagara thrill you when you hear a water roaring? All of you look with awe and wonder at the Massachusetts shore. We're men who braved this hard new world, first stepped on Plymouth's rock. And all of you think of them when you stroll along a New York City dock. Have you seen a snowflake flutter in the Rockies, way up high? Have you seen the sun come blazing down through a bright Nevada sky? And do you hail of the Columbia as she rushes to the sea, or bow your head at Gettysburg, or struggle to be free? Have you seen the mighty Tetons? You watched an eagle soar. You seen the Mississippi roll along Missouri shore? And have you felt the chill at Michigan when on a winter's day your waters rage along the shore in thunderous display? Oh, man, does the word aloha make you warm? And do you stare in disbelief when you see the surf come roaring in at Waimea Reef? Well, from Alaska's cold to the Everglades, from the Rio Grande to Maine, oh, my heart cries out and my pulse runs fast at the might of her domain. So you ask me why I love her? I've a million reasons why. My beautiful America, beneath God's wide, wide sky.
I I get a big wahoo?
Give me a horse, a great big horse, and give me a buckaroo, and let me wahoo, wahoo, wahoo. Give me a range, a big pair of pants, and give me a Stetson too, and let me wahoo, wahoo, wahoo.
Give me those wide open spaces.
Well, I'm just like a prairie flower, growing wilder every hour. Give me a moon, prairie moon, give me a gal that's true, and let me wahoo, wahoo, wahoo.
Well, what did Cleopatra say to Antony when they met? She hollered, wahoo, wahoo, wahoo.
Welcome to John Wayne's birthday celebration from all of the great American states of America and the great western frontier.
My name is Mark Pearson. I've been a member of the John Wayne Birthplace Board for 14 years. It's been a privilege to be a part of this and be a part of the John Wayne heritage for me. Thank you. We have a number of people that we want to introduce, but before we get to that introduction, please join me in a nice round of applause for our welcome from the City of Winterset, the Honorable Jim Olson, the Mayor of the City of Winterset. Jim.
Thank you. On behalf of the City of Winterset and its 5,000 citizens, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to the Wayne family, special guests, and the thousands of visitors to our community. The eyes of the world are focused on us today as we celebrate John Wayne's 100th birthday and the groundbreaking of the John Wayne Museum and Learning Center. It is my sincere hope that you have an enjoyable stay and will return when the museum is completed. Thank you.
It's a privilege to bring up to the podium now the Congressman who represents the interests of Madison County in the United States Congress. Please, a warm welcome for Congressman Tom Latham.
Thank you very much, Mark Pearson. I noticed the emphasis on a few words, so we will do well in that regard. First of all, this is such a great day, and welcome to the folks who came here from so far away to make this day so special for all of us. This is a day that we should congratulate everyone who has worked so hard on this project for years and years. And Dave, everybody else, congratulations. This is a dream come true. It's going to bring so much more emphasis, interest, more people to Madison County, into Winterset in the future. It is just a great, great project, and it's so important that we honor a truly great American, John Wayne. And when you think about someone who is the icon of what this country is about, what we stand for, it's John Wayne. And so this is just tremendous. We thank you all, thank everyone for being here today. And I want to see somebody knock this building down back here.
Tymason, and also joining her is our state senator, Stacey Apple. That's General Tymason, by the way.
Senator Apple and I would like to give a warm Winterset and Madison County welcome to all of you. Thanks for coming. To the Wayne family and friends, we had the great honor this year in the Iowa House and the Iowa Senate of passing resolutions to honor John Wayne. It was really an honor for us to do that, and great fun. The Birthplace Society members came and the mayor came and received the resolutions, and so that was a great honor for us to be able to honor him. I, like most of you, and I'm sure Senator Apple, grew up watching John Wayne movies. He certainly was our family's favorite, and he definitely stood for everything that is good and right about America. Well, today's groundbreaking is really exciting, but it's going to be really exciting watching the museum go up and then watch all the people, and especially the children, come through the museum in years to come. That'll be exciting for all of us. And it's also great that there's going to be so many partners involved in making the museum and Learning Center a reality. So thanks again for all of you. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
A distinct pleasure to bring up to the stage a priest and a grandson of John Wayne. Please, a warm Winterset, Iowa welcome for Father Matt Munoz. Father Matt.
Good afternoon. We're all so happy to be here, and we've been received so warmly, and it's just great to see so many people on such a dreary day to come out and celebrate our grandfather's and father's birthday. Today, as you know, he celebrates 100 years, and so I'd like if we could, just a little special thing I'd like to ask, since we're all together here, and we can use the name Duke, if we'd all just sing happy birthday to him. I know he's with us, so I was never a choir boy, so don't hold that against me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Duke. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. We're just so grateful and so overwhelmed at the outpouring of love that you all have for my grandfather. And I get the pleasure of doing a little blessing here. We're going to break ground. We can't knock the whole building down today because it has to stay up for 2 more weeks before they can do this legally. So we're going to have my young Uncle Ethan knock a piece of it off, and pray for him because he might get a little carried away and try and take the whole block. And at this time, I'd like to invite first his children who are here to please stand. My mom and my Uncle Ethan to please stand. Is anyone else here? Ethan and Mom. My mom's Linda. Ethan. And I'd like all my cousins, all the grandchildren. I've been asked to ask you all to stand, please. These are all just a few of his many grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And the in-laws, get up, in-laws. Don, Uncle Don, Patrick, stand up, everybody. Mark, where are you? Mark, stand up. Amy, stand up, Amy. Amy, stand up. Stand up, Amy, quick. Stand up. David, get your girlfriend. We're trying to get my cousin David here married to this girl. We want her to marry him before they get to know her. I gotta give you a hard time. Now, I'd like to invite everyone to extend their hands towards this site here as a blessing place so that the people that will come in the future will remember a good man and a good American and some of what it means to be an American, and the values that he stood for, and the history that he's preserved in his movies, and we don't always see in the movies today. And with all the computers and technology, we don't always see the same acting, and the dignity and integrity which he brought to the big screen and inspired so many people to live their lives by. And so if you just join our family in the city of Winterset in extending a blessing here towards this place, that it might be a place where people feel welcome and understand what it means a little bit more about being American. Father in heaven, we thank you for the gift of my grandfather and his life, John Wayne Duke, in this place which will memorialize what he stood for, the values he stood for, that it might be a place where especially young Americans can learn and be restored in their hope, in their courage, in their valor. And we ask all these blessings upon everybody here and in this site, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God bless John Wayne. God bless America.
Time now for some special presentations. Mr. Trask will join me up here on the podium. Come on up, David. First off, I think we want to bring up the Iowa Lottery, Dave. And Miss Tina Potoff is with us from the Iowa Lottery. And she's going to introduce Karen and the rest of the crew. Tina?
Thank you very much. As Mark said, my name is Tina Potoff. I'm the spokeswoman for the Iowa Lottery. And I'd like to introduce just the other women that are here with me today. Karen Smith, if she could stand up, from the Iowa Lottery, along with Stephanie Bond. and Amber Weaver, she's from Scientific Games. The reason I point these women out is because they have free lottery tickets today that you want to get your hands on. And you can win up to $10,000. They're the Duke Lottery tickets, and we're proud to say at the Iowa Lottery that this has been our fastest selling instant scratch ticket. We are out of the game. And the only place that has it is your local lottery retailer like the Come and Go behind you or us, so make sure you stop by our booth. We also have Duke hats, t-shirts, and blankets for free at our booth too, so make sure you stop on by. It's at the Madison County Fairgrounds. Make sure you pay your $2 and head over there. Amber is here with us today because on behalf of the Iowa Lottery, we deal with a company called Scientific Games that puts together our instant scratch-off tickets. And the Iowa Lottery raises money for the state general fund, so we're not able to give to nonprofits, but indirectly, Amber has taken a portion of our licensing fee for the Duke game and is here to present a check on behalf of the Iowa Lottery and Scientific Games to Dave Trask.
We have a check for $2,488.80 that we are very pleased to present to David Trask and the John Wayne Birthplace Society. And we are just honored to be able to continue John Wayne's legacy in our own little way.
Thank you very much for the generosity of Scientific Games. This will go a long way towards our dream of creating this museum. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ethan Wayne and ask him to come up on stage. We will get started with the unveiling of the John Wayne statue. Ethan Wayne, by the way, and Greg Palmer have a slight relationship. They both appeared in the movie Big Jake, if you've ever seen that. Greg Palmer was the one that was chasing Ethan around as about a 10-year-old child in that movie. So, Ethan Wayne, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I guess I better start by apologizing to Greg for poking you in the face with a pitchfork and shooting you with the Derringer. I'm going to continue my reign of terror over here in a few minutes. I know my dad would be so pleased to see all his family and all these people come out on such a rainy day to celebrate his 100th birthday. It's great. I want to thank you all for being here. So that's it. Let's get this thing torn down and get out of the rain.
We had hoped to have Jennifer Wayne join us, but she was about 30 minutes out about 15 minutes ago. Is Jennifer here? All right, that's fine. How many want to see this statue? Yeah! Ethan,
Dave, Amy's going to be happy to get that this thing's out of my bedroom now. Are you ready?
I'd like to thank Larry Usler and Corey Usler for the use of the groundbreaking equipment, and Ethan Wayne's at the controls, so he will knock a hunk off of this for our ceremony of groundbreaking.
Ethan's breaking ground. He's not going to hang us down. He's not going to hang us down.
we are ready, Ethan.
There it goes.
There it goes. All right. Ethan Wayne. I think he's going for another shot. Thank you, Ethan. Let's give a nice round of applause. That concludes our formal ceremony. We want to thank all of our dignitaries, all of our co-stars. I want to thank A.C. Lyles.
I want to thank everybody for coming out and celebrating my father's birthday. Most of the family are here, and most of the Iowans are here. It's a raining day. We know it's for the farmers, but it just is a wonderful day. Thank you so much to everyone for coming out.
learning as I go. Baby, I'll be okay, just you wait and see. I'm learning more every day, there's still something left in me. I've learned to cry, I've learned to laugh. I've learned that making love don't always last. I've learned how much you get for all you dream, and I've learned that you can let go of most everything. Yeah, there's a lot I guess I still don't know, but I'm learning as I go. There's a lot I guess I still don't know. I'm learning as I go.
The first time that we, as John Wayne's birthplace, have honored his birthday. We had to wait till it was the 100th to do that. The reason why we are here today is because it is his 100th birthday, and it marks a very important milestone to the fact that I think this year Duke moved from number 5 most popular actor to number 3 this year. We have many fine actors out there today, but I think the fact that he's moved to number 3 says a lot about the messages and the values that he portrayed in his movies, and that's why I think there is a real yearning for that and a need to look at somebody who was an American and to represent a country that is unified and not one that is divided. And that is a message I think that many people are looking for and are clinging to. But what we want to do as a board is to build a lasting tribute. And the reason why I dedicated many hours in the last several months and many weeks in the last couple of months to this effort, and I have to say thank you to my husband and my family, who has been ever supportive and very patient, even when I wasn't. For that. But what we want to do is we want to recognize this person, not because he was an actor. He was an actor, and he was a real hero, R-E-E-L, hero, but he was a real, R-E-A-L, American. And as some of the people who we will play audios to you from, and some of the people who will speak to you, I'm sure what they're going to talk about is the values that he exhibited and how important that is. And that is why we are building this museum. And we've had several people that want to give a tribute and an acknowledgement to him. And the first one is Senator Brownback. So if you would come at this time.
An impossible act to follow. It's like, okay, Michael Jordan just completed the slam dunk competition, now your turn. I am honored to be here, and let me say what my tribute is. And it's as a farm boy growing up in eastern Kansas, and it's finishing up a day's work on the farm. It's 9 o'clock at night. We worked until the sun went down in those early, in the summer days. And we get in the shower in the evening, and you can, on the farm, you shower at night, you don't shower in the morning. And Dad would shower, and the rest of us would, and then we're finally getting ready to go to bed, and we're relaxing. And Dad says, let's see what's on TV, and there'd be an old John Wayne movie on. And we would sit there at night, and we'd stay up too late, because we were going to get up early the next morning, but we had to watch the John Wayne movie. And we did. And that was what I was raised on, was that. want to say it as a tribute is here is a kid growing up in Parker, Kansas on a small farm. What I saw in that was this is what I was to be, to grow up to be a man. This was about honor and courage and doing what's right in tough circumstances. And it was about a real American hero, R-E-A-L, American hero. And I never thought John Wayne acted. I thought he just did what he came naturally to him. So this was the natural way that you did things. But to me, that's important. And to me, as a U.S. Senator now, that's important. That you convey those messages through your cultural icons about what's good and what's wrong. And that you're willing to fight for what's good, and you're willing to stand up against it. And to me, that's always what John Wayne stood for in the movies.
Anyway, I'd like to ask AC to come up and say a few words. AC was a friend of John Wayne's for 40 years, and he's got many stories about John Wayne.
Jesus, I think about that. And if like some man said, let me help you up there, hell, he fell, but I got to go on my own. Yeah, that's a short resume, 1928 to 2007. And I had to fill out some papers the other day for an insurance thing at the studio, and it said education. I said, University of Paramount, 555 Melrose Avenue, Hollywood, California. And someone said at night, you've seen a lot of changes now, but I said, hell, since last night. But I tell you about my longevity, Duke once said to me, don't tell people you started at Paramount in 1928 on your 10th birthday, which is true. He said, tell them you were 20. He said, that'll add 10 years to your life. And everybody said, Jesus, do you look great. So I tell you, it worked well for a number of years. And I'm happy that I don't have to say this to Duke, but a couple months ago I was introduced to a couple. They said, this is A.C. Lyles. He's been at Paramount 79 years, and he started when he was 20 years old. He said, you are 98? And I said, yeah. And the woman said, you could pass for 95 any day. So I'm going back to being 10 years old when I started at Paramount.
Here to present it is Joe Zachschwart. Joe, see here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say that I get quite emotional when I talk about my hero of 40 years, John Wayne. Just never had any contact with him, but I met John Wayne one time in 1976 when he was in Philadelphia for the bicentennial to promote his film The Shootist. After the Mike Douglas show, I must have had the smarts or whatever to run around the back. All of a sudden the garage door opened, and there he was, 10 feet away from it. I hollered over, I said, hello, dude. He reached over, shook my hand, and said, how are you? I took a picture of him. I'll fast forward 3 years, when this is the type of man that I knew that John Wayne was. When he was very, very ill, I wrote him a 2-page letter and sent him a prayer card and told him that we're all praying for him back in Pennsylvania. The night that and I also enclosed a picture that I had taken of him at the Mike Douglas show. The day after John Wayne appeared on the Academy Awards, the next day in the mail I received a yellow manila envelope. In the left-hand corner it had photos from John Wayne. I was trembling as I opened it, and he had signed it. And I thought, wow, as sick as he was, 2 months later he would pass, that he took the time out to sign up for me. He'll always be my hero, and I'll always remember that. And tonight, I'd like to dedicate to the birthplace a couple of costumes that or out of my private collection, the John Wayne wore. The one over here is from North to Alaska, and there's a vest that John Wayne wore in a TV special with Raquel Welch in 1970, and a pair of John Wayne's pants that he wore in a couple of westerns. Also, we have here a letter that he wrote to President Johnson's wife, Lady Bird, in 1975. And this one's kind of funny, I thought, to get to the birthplace, but this is a signed contract from 1971 for John Wayne to appear on the television show Laugh-In. And as you remember, there was one funny scene there where he dressed up as a bunny, and Goldie Hawn got up on the chair to kiss him. So I'd like to present this to the birthplace with a lot of love.
I just want to say it's so cool for me to be here. It's my first time ever in Iowa, and my first time tomorrow will be my first time in Winterset. So I'm really excited, and I just appreciate all you guys coming out for my grandfather. It's so cool. And this is the famous guitar player Jeremy Popoff. This next song I wrote about my grandfather, and so it's a tribute song to him and America, and I hope you guys like it.
Comes riding in with both guns blazing, the only real man with true grit. He saves the day, he gets the girl, and rides off into the sunset. He taught us young how to get up early, told us we were burning daylight, and right from wrong, and love your family, and don't go down without a good fight. So I grew up strong and tough, 'cause my hero was a cowboy. He raised me up with the deepest love for America. So God bless Main Street and 57 Chevrolet. God bless hot dogs and baseball games. God bless Liberty holding up her flame. And God bless John Wayne. Came from nothing, he worked his way up, he lived the American dream, but made it clear he'd give it all up just to serve his country. Every kid breathing liberty and get the bad guys on the big screen. He really was the spirit of America. God bless Memphis, West Texas barbecue, Miami sunshine, Seattle rain, and God bless Hollywood's Walk of Fame. And God bless John God bless sweet tea and southern hospitality. God bless football and Thanksgiving Day. And God bless Liberty holding up her flame. And God bless John Wayne.
I've seen one of those fiddle players. He played classical music for 20 years. Yes, sir. No, he's got put cultures down in the inside of
With the program?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Lester Bayless, first of all, is our first guest here to this, this afternoon. I'm still thinking it's morning. Sharecropper family out of Mississippi. He was an athlete at first, then was in the Navy, And after the Navy, he headed west, got hooked up with Western Costume Company in Hollywood, which is the costuming company for all the motion pictures out there, the biggest one anyway. He eventually owned his own costume company, still does. He became John Wayne's personal costumer. Wayne would hardly make a picture without him towards the end there. Things like True Grit and Chisholm and Rio Lobo and Train Robbers and Cahill U.S. Marshal, 13 in all, including Mr. Wayne's last to shoot us. Make welcome Luster Bayless. Ed Faulkner came out of Lexington, Kentucky, planned to be an industrial engineer. Didn't work out, just like Luster changed in the middle of the stream. Ed went into the Air Force, became a fighter pilot. Then in the late 50s, he got into acting in television, Have Gun Will Travel, and a lot of other things, including a couple of pictures with Elvis, GI Blues. Then he made his first film with John Wayne, McClintock, in '63. Then he was in Green Berets, Hellfighters, Undefeated, Chisholm, Rio Lobos, 6 in all for Ed Faulkner. And let's take a quick look at some of the work of Ed Faulkner in Wayne Pictures.
From River Junction to here is the worst part of the trip that you gave the gold detail with Lieutenant Forsyth? That's one of the reasons. He's been with you quite a while, hasn't he? Since the war began. Yes, sir.
But, Senor, we have open water and heard that Muddy Creek. As I explained to your friends, Muddy Creek's private now. Urban. But, Senor, I've heard that there is more than enough water at Muddy Creek. And yesterday... I know all about yesterday. Now listen, Delgado, I told them then and I'm telling you now. And if you don't understand plain English, maybe there's something else you will understand. Go on. Let it. I'm sorry, Senor, Delgado. See, Senor Murphy. Yeah, well, you see, I'm going to be running a lot of beef, and I need every drop of water I can get. I'm sorry. Mark? Mark, I was just coming to talk to you. Talk? Know what I've been doing lately? No. What have you been doing lately? Playing solitaire, that's what. Ever since they opened that damn store, look at it. Well, banking business hasn't been too good either. Just look at those people pouring in and out of that place like they're giving away free whiskey. Yeah, I can see. You know what I think? You go back and play solitaire. I'll do the thinking. Okay? Hello, Ben. Dave McClintock.
Make welcome Ed Faulkner, young Ben.
Good morning.
We had another legend, this one living, thank goodness, producer A.C. Lyles, now 89. He started at Paramount in 1928 when he was 10 years old. He's worked his way up from the bottom to producer. He's become a legendary producer. Nobody in Hollywood will ever top that record, just impossible to do. President Ronald Reagan commissioned AC to the President's Advisory Council on Private Sector Initiatives back in 1983. During the Reagan and Bush administrations, he functioned as a Hollywood liaison, getting celebrities to entertain at the White House and functions like that. In '84, he received the George Washington Award of the Freedoms Foundation, presented to him by President Reagan. And probably a lot of you have seen a lot of the pictures he produced in the 60s with George Montgomery and Howard Keel, a lot of good westerns he supplied us with. He's a living legend, and we're glad to have him here. He's on the board of directors for the birthplace, A.C. Lyles. Thank you. Yeah, I got it right for them. Greg Palmer, under contract to Universal International in the 50s, Battle at Apache Pass, Taza, Son of Cochise, Magnificent Obsession, Red Ball Express, a couple of pictures with Audie Murphy, Column South, and To Hell and Back, and Cimarron Kid, 3 of them exactly, and many others. Then he began to freelance after the studio system kind of fell apart. He made 6 films with John Wayne. Common Charles was the first, went on to do Undefeated, Chisholm, Rio Lobo, the shootist and probably his best remembered with the Duke was Big Jake, where he took after young Ethan with that machete and killed the dog. Everybody remembers that one. So let's take a look at some work of Greg Palmer.
I told you to move, fatty. Dog.
Greg Palmer. Dean Smith, West Texas boy, wanted to be a rodeo rider, but he got involved in a little bit of track and field, won every major 100-yard dash in his junior year. Look magazine named him to the All-American High School track team. He then played football and ran track at the University of Texas. By the age of 18, he was on the U.S. Olympic team at Helsinki and was a gold medal winner, sometimes termed the fastest man alive. He then went and spent time in the Army, played football with the L.A. Rams, and through the friendship of James Garner and Dale Robertson, as we talked about yesterday, he got into the motion picture business, doubling Dale Robertson on Tales of Wells Fargo to begin with, and then but did make 10 pictures with John Wayne, acting and stunt work: Alamo, McClintock, El Dorado, Rio Lobo, Big Jake, True Grit, War Wagon, Comancheros, Rio Bravo, Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Very impressive record. Here's a look at Dean Smith.
Ladies.
Just who was this fellow I killed? A friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
When did I do this, boy?
2 years ago, come September. You and 3 others. Not just under the hill in Mississippi. There was a gambler named Johnny Diamond. And he was kind of an old man. Shouldn't have taken 40. You remember Johnny?
Yeah, I remember. He was a card sharp. He was cheap.
No. No, he was good. Didn't have to cheat.
Really shouldn't have taken 40, Johnny.
No, he shouldn't. Well, I'm sure glad you remember, Mr. Hagan. The other 3 did.
The other 3?
Yeah. I caught up with them. You're the last. Now I think you better stand up.
Stand up, Johnny. I'm curious to see how he does this. Isn't that, Johnny? And like you said, you shouldn't have taken 40. Stand up, Johnny.
One of the best stuntmen in the business, Dean Smith. Greg, I asked Ed this yesterday. Your first meeting with John Wayne, your first picture, were you intimidated? Were you in awe? How did you approach this living legend? By this time, he'd made all kinds of pictures.
Yeah, I was in awe. I was a fan of hers. His as a young man in the 30s there, Bob Steele, and I was blessed one day becoming an actor and working with John Wayne. And it was Mr. Wayne. It went on for, one show, and finally the second show he came up to me that I worked with him. He says, "My friends call me Duke. And then later on, he gave me a nickname. He called me Grizzly. So I guess when they like you, they have pet names for you. But yes, he was a legend. He was an American. What I admired about John Wayne was you asked him a question, he gave you the bottom line. You can chew on it, but you got it straight from the man.
I'm not sure everybody knows it. There's a lot of work that goes into making a picture. I mean, you do the same scene over and over many, many times.
Right.
You're doing a close-up, and some actors will stay and do your lines with you. The camera's on you.
Right.
The other actors over here are off camera. Some actors will stay around and feed you the lines, and some will not. What was Wayne's attitude?
He was there. You did a scene, he was off camera. And if I did a scene, I was off camera. And you're right, there are a lot of actors that won't do that or give the other actor the courtesy of having you there to play off. That reminds me of a real quick story about this man. I did Green Berets with Duke, and he directed that film. And I'll never forget one night, we did a lot of night filming. We were in the tower where the big battle is going on, if you recall that. And it was a tight close-up of me. And I don't know, we did 2, maybe 3 takes, and Duke said, print it. And I did something that an actor of my stature, at least at that time in the film, I really shouldn't have done. But I felt comfortable with the man. And I knew he was fair. And I put it out, I said, Duke, can we do this one more time? And he looked at me. Now, you know, David Jansen could have done it, or a big star could have done it, but here I am, playing a supporting role, asking the director. In effect, I'm kind of questioning his ability to direct the film. But he said, well, yeah, let's do it again. and we did it. So he said, print them both. And it was about 3, 4, 5 days later when they got the rushes back from Hollywood. He came up to me and he put his arm around me. He said, well, you remember the scene in the tower? I said, yeah. He said, you were right. And that just points out to me, at least, the kind of a man he was. He was super.
Talking about the tedious process sometimes of making a film, AC, being a producer, for the audience, explain a lot of the things. What time the people have to be on the set, the early hours, what time they left at night, the blocking that goes into things, the close-ups over the shoulder, even the looping later. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Well, to be a good producer, you have to be intelligent enough to get good people to do good jobs, and you take credit for it. And the producer should be the dreamer on the set. I think a lot of people think the producer goes out and gets the money for the picture. That's not true when you're at a major studio, where I've been for 79 years, like Paramount. We finance our own pictures. And the producer, think of a college, and the president of the college is the producer. The coach of the football team is the director. The football team are the actors. So the producer, main job, he finds a story, he assigns a writer, he works with the writer throughout the script. He casts the picture, and he's in charge of post-production with the composer, the editing, and like that. Then you get together with the sales department and map out a program of how you're going to sell the picture, and you release the picture, and then you give it to the Railway Express and people like that, the film to take to the theaters. And I don't know about other producers, I've always given them a great, outstanding picture. I don't know what the hell they do with it in that truck. But sometimes something happens in that truck that messes it up. But the producer is that. Duke Wayne, the first picture he did for us at Paramount was Shepherd of the Hills, and I got to know him at that time. And I was in Mr. Zerka's office. He was founded Paramount and the chairman, and I started out at Paramount on my 10th birthday, and I was Mr. Zerka's birthday, and I was at Mr. Zerka's office boy. And someone said that I was at Paramount so long, I was there for Adolf Zerka's bar mitzvah. So I was there one day in Mr. Zucker's office with Frank Freeman, and Duke came in, and he was freelancing at this time. And at that time, $500,000 was tops for the biggest stars in Hollywood. And he came in and said, Mr. Zucker, I have 90 days free, and I won $1 million Friday. He wanted $1 million on Friday because he had 90 days free. And Mr. Zucker picked up the phone and said, make out a check for John Wayne for $1 million, have it ready by Friday. That's how important he was. You know, you can go all over the world. I've been in Russia and the studio in China, all over. All you have to say is the word Duke. You don't have to say John Wayne, just Duke. And everybody knows who Duke is. Jimmy Cagney and I had offices at Paramount. We were making movies together. We had lunch with Duke one day, and Jim and I had just come back from Fort Worth, Texas, and Dallas, Texas. Jim and I were in Dallas, and we were deciding what we were going to do on a Sunday. And I remember that over in Fort Worth was a lady named Edna Gladney. Maybe you've heard of her. She had the largest home in America for unwed mothers. MGM made a story about it called Blossoms in the Dust, and Greer Garson played her role. And I called and I said, yes, Duke, I'll tell the story. So I was in Dallas with Jim, and I called Edna Gladney in Fort Worth, and I said, here. She said, what are you doing there? I said, here with Jimmy Cagney. She says, I have 34 pregnant women here, unwed mothers. You get your butts over here and say hello to these girls. I want you to. So I talked Jimmy into doing it. He was a little shy. I was anxious to see 34 pregnant women. And as we got there, we pulled in the car, and in front of us, a young girl got out. I later know her name was Loretta Chances. And as we got to the entrance, she arrived. She looked about 18 years old. She was about 8 months pregnant. And she looked at Jimmy, and she recognized his face. And she looked at him, and she said, I want to ask you something. I think she's going to say, are you Jimmy Cagney? She looked at him, and she said, then she got hostile. She said, I want to ask you something. Were you in El Paso about 8 months ago? So I was telling Duke while we were having lunch that Jimmy was accused of this parenthood while we're there at the Home for Unwed Mothers. And Duke said, you know, Jimmy, you're going to get a call from her any day saying the baby has red hair. Because Jimmy had red hair. The next day, Jim and I in the office, and there's a call. Loretta was on the phone wanting to talk to Jimmy Cagney. So Jimmy said, Duke put some fake person up to call and tell me she's going to tell me the baby has arrived with red hair. And he said, to hell with it. And he said to the secretary, transfer this call over to Mary Van Ness, who was Duke's second, and tell him that Jimmy Cagney wants Duke to talk to this girl. And we thought it was so funny, it was great. Now the joke is back on Duke. 2 days later, Jimmy gets a letter from Loretta. And in it was a picture of the newborn baby. And she said, I can't tell you how nice it was of you to transfer my call over to Duke Wayne. He was wonderful. He talked to me for a half hour. So it wasn't a gag at all. It was, and the girl got to talk to Duke Wayne.
While I spoke earlier, if Duke could have invited a couple of his favorites here, like Gary Cooper and Jimmy Stewart, to come meet you people and celebrate his birthday with him. If we could have turned the clock back a few years, what would it be like? So if I may, that's the joy. Everyone wants to, they know the dialogue of Dukes, and they walk like him, and so forth. I'd like to give you my impression, if I may, of Cooper and Jimmy Stewart. coming to John Wayne's birthday party. How about that? Okay?
Yeah.
So here they come. Oh, we'll have to have an Indian intercept him, so we'll throw Red Cloud in there. So here comes Cooper and Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne, and they're just kind of loping on through Des Moines, and they're headed down here to Winterset. And all of a sudden, out of the draw, here comes old Red Cloud. He's got 3,000 braves on either side of him. He just gallops up there, dumps his pony, the dust flying. He stands high in the stirrups, feathers waving, and he says, Cooper says, what did he say? All he said, we're riding through his territory and wants us to turn around and skedaddle out of here. What did he say? All he said, he's got the Shoshones, the Arapaho, the Tuscalero. We don't get out of here, he'll cause us a little trouble. Well, now, let's hold on there a minute, Joe. Let me talk to him. Red Cloud? Well, looky here, Red Cloud. We've been riding for 4 days over mountains, streams, and rivers. We're on the way to Winterset here. Duke's got a big birthday party going on, so go on now, just get out of here, all of you. Go on, go on. What did he say? Well, he said he knows those nice people for us to ride on through and have ourselves a good time. Well, we thank you, Chief. You come on, let's get out of here. Thank you.
My heroes have always been cowboys.
They're planning a wedding. Call me up on the phone today, just to see what I had to say to him. Did I think he was ready? Said what his grandfather used to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, our tribute to America and Mr. John Wayne. Have you heard of Bob White calling in the Carolina Pines, or the bellow of a
diesel at the Appalachia mines. As we follow the Niagara through when you hear her waters roar, look with awe and wonder at the Massachusetts shore where men who braved the hardened world were stepping on Plymouth Rock. You think of them when you stroll along the New York City dock. Have you seen a snowflake drifting in the Rockies way up high? Have you seen the sun come blazing down from a bright Nevada sky? You hail to the Columbia as you rush through the sea, while you're headed to Gettysburg, our struggle to be free. Have you seen the mighty Tetons? You watched an eagle soar? Have you seen the Mississippi roll along Missouri's shore? You felt a chill at Michigan when on a winter's day the waters rage along the shore and thunderous display. There's nowhere to aloha make you warm. You stare in disbelief when you see the surf come roaring in at Waimea Reef. From Alaska's cold to the Everglades, from the Rio Grande to Maine, my heart cries out, my pulse runs fast. You ask me why I love it? I have a million reasons why. My beautiful America, beneath God's wide, wide sky.
Well, I got to thinking, now what else can we do to celebrate John Wayne in music? And it occurred to me that one of my favorite tunes the Sons of the Pioneers ever did was when they were dressed as the regimental singers in the movie Rio Grande, 1950, Republic movie. And Maureen O'Hara was standing there with John Wayne. The regimental singers came up to serenade and sang, I'll take you home again, Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been, since first you were my bonny bride.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Major Frank North, Chief of the Pawnee Scouts. In 1883, in Omaha, Nebraska, I was among the founding presenters of Buffalo Bill's Wild West. Colonel William F. Cody, famous on both sides of the Atlantic as Buffalo Bill, realized that the American West was populated with dramatic and colorful characters, and it was his vision to present a pageant that would showcase our vanishing frontier. Wild West audiences thrilled to such scenes as an ambush on the Deadwood Stagecoach, the roping and riding of wild Texas steers and mustangs, the marksmanship of Annie Oakley and Johnny Baker, and, above all, the dynamic presence of Buffalo Bill himself. In tribute to their grand and glorious traditions, and in honor of the greatest motion picture star of all time, we proudly present the John Wayne Birthday Wild West Review.
We honor the soldiers who lost their lives with this song. They not only served country, but they also served God, because our country was founded under God. My country under God, my country under God, I stand on land that's sacred ground. I'll not surrender, I'll not stand down. My country knows no king, no crown. My country under God.
The amazing lariat artistry of Max Reynolds and Brian Bausch. Brian Bausch and his incredible horse, Rustler. Hear it again for the amazing Brian Bausch and Rustler. 1975, while demonstrating her amazing marksmanship in a shooting gallery in Cincinnati, Miss Oakley competed with fellow sharpshooter Frank Butler. Annie handily won that competition, as well as the heart of Mr. Butler, who would soon become her partner for life. Watch now as Annie replicates the skill which first brought her public acclaim. In one of her most challenging feats, Annie astonished audiences by splitting a single bullet on the blade of an axe, simultaneously striking both targets. With her back to the target, Annie will now perform her signature mirror shot. Give her just a moment to carefully sight her rifle so as not to remove more from Frank's hand than what she intends. And now, the oscillating target. Supremely skilled in the use of both rifle and shotgun, Annie will now demonstrate her ambidextrous abilities with pistols. Before entering the show business, Annie defeated professional exhibition shooters by shooting 24 out of 25 aerial targets in rapid succession. She will now demonstrate her ability as our peerless Lady Wingshot. Let's hear it, please, for the very brave Frank Butler and the remarkable Miss Annie Oakley. Cossacks were renowned as being among the finest horsemen in the world. Ivan will now demonstrate the terrifying skills that distinguish the Cossacks in war. Watch now as he destroys the target in the center of the arena with his blade of razor sharpness. Using that same sharp saber, Ivan will circle back and remove the golden ring from the trusting hand of Cattle Kate. Ivan will now display his deadly expertise with a 9-foot battle lance by extracting the rings from their 3 sturdy anchors. And now, from the Lakota Nation, please welcome Chief Irontail, who will dazzle you with his own formidable skills with rifle, bow and arrow, and lance.
I portray the part Pawnee Bill in the Wild West Show in Pawnee, Oklahoma, and Pawnee Bill was given by Jennifer Jones and John Wayne a set of spurs in 1939. We have a picture in the museum there, and I was invited to ride with the Pawnee Bill wagon in the parade yesterday and perform in the Wild West Review that they're going to have here this afternoon and this evening. And it's been very much a pleasure to be in Winterset. To all the people have been very friendly to me and the Spotted Horse Y while we've been here.
We believe the half-section's participation in the celebration of the life and legacy of such a commanding and patriotic individual as John Wayne is an opportunity to say thank you for his contributions to the armed forces. Ladies and gentlemen, from Fort Sill, the Field Artillery Half-Section. The drill you are witnessing today is authentic to what was presented in Wild West shows of the early 20th century. The unit consists of 6 horses drawing a French 75mm cannon and limber with the chief of section and guidon bearer on separate mounts. A similar unit would carry ammunition, thus the term half-section. These horses were carefully selected with the guidance of vintage photographs depicting the ideal military mount. Let's watch and listen as the half-section keeps alive the tradition of horse-drawn artillery and its esteemed place in U.S. Army history. Hold your loved ones close because this is going to be powerfully loud. Ladies and gentlemen, the Field Artillery Half-Section.
Alan on the gig will tell these truths to you. Hard times going down my avenue. Hard work's the only horse I ever drew. Hard work's the only way I made it through. trader from a town of Alaska named Charlie Hoffman poured me on his rounds. He fought me like a Wolverine, there's cheating in his blood. And he fell upon my butcher knife and crawled off through the mud.
It's now our great pleasure to welcome back the incomparable Max Reynolds in an act he has presented everywhere from Pocatello, Idaho to Paris, France. The very same death-defying feats he performed in the television series Buffalo Gals. Ladies and gentlemen, Max Reynolds. Max is aside his beautiful show horses he calls his silver bullets, on which he'll demonstrate a walk, a trot, a canter, and a figure eight. To prove his horses are not tied together in any way, he'll ride them spread eagle, a step from horse to horse, turn completely around, and then ride them backwards. Finally, the feat for which he is most renowned, Max will now jump his horses through the flaming ring of fire. Let's hear it again for Max Reynolds and his silver bullets.
Well, it's an honor to be here at John Wayne's 100th birthday, and we're having a blast.
Along the trails and canyons between Cheyenne and Deadwood, travelers were brought face to face with danger in its deadliest form, enduring blizzards, washouts, dust storms, and all too often the wrath of marauding highwaymen. Thunderation! The devils are at it again! Ladies and gentlemen, our passengers are putting up a valiant fight. But unless something happens soon, it looks like they'll not be long for this world. They need help, and they need it now. Where's Buffalo Bill? Where's Honey Bill? Where's the cow? Buffalo Bill has saved the day. Boys, what a wonderful life they spent in daring deeds wherever they went. Long may their exploits healthfully thrill. Let's take our hats off to our two Bills. There you have it, folks. The John Wayne Birthday Wild West Review.
We be ran wild. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John Wayne. Happy birthday to you. Comes riding in with both guns blazing, the only real man with true grit. He saves the day, he gets the girl, and rides off into the sunset. He taught us young how to get up early, and told us we were burning daylight. Right from wrong, and love your family, and don't go down without a good fight. So I grew up strong and tough, 'cause my hero was a cowboy. Raised me up with the deepest love for America. So God bless Main Street and 57 Chevrolet. God bless hot dogs and baseball games. God bless Liberty holding up her flame. And God bless John Wayne. Came from nothing, worked his way up, lived the American dream, but made it clear he'd give it all up just to serve his country. Every kid breathing literacy and get the bad guys on the big screen. He really was the spirit of America. God bless Memphis Blues, West Texas barbecue, Miami sunshine, and Seattle rain, and God bless Hollywood's Walk of Fame. God bless John God bless sweet tea and southern hospitality. God bless football and Thanksgiving Day. And God bless Liberty holding up her flame. And God bless John Wayne.
All you ask me why I love her? All give me time and I'll explain. Have you seen a Kansas sunset or a Arizona rain? All of you drifting on a bayou down Louisiana way, or watch a cold fog drifting over San Francisco Bay. Have you heard of bobwhite calling in the Carolina pines, or heard the bellow of a diesel in the Appalachian mines? Does the sound of the Niagara thrill you when you hear her waters roaring? All of you look with awe and wonder at the Massachusetts shore. We're men who brave this hard new world, first stepped on Plymouth's Rock, and all you think of them when you stroll along New York City, Doc? Have you seen a snowflake flutter in the Rockies, way up high? Have you seen the sun come blazing down through a bright Nevada sky? And do you hail of the Columbia as she rushes to the sea, or bow your head at Gettysburg, at our struggle to be free? Have you seen the mighty Tetons? You watched an eagle soar? You seen the Mississippi roll along Missouri shore? And have you felt a chill at Michigan when on a winter's day your waters rage along the shore in thunderous display? Oh, ma'am, does the word aloha make you warm? And do you stare in disbelief when you see the surf come roaring in at Waimea Reef? All from Alaska's cold to the Everglades, from the Rio Grande to Maine. Oh, my heart cries out and my pulse runs fast at the might of her domain. So you ask me why I love her? I've a million reasons why. My beautiful America, beneath God's wide